All right, we have a game, 7Q game. May only be able to play one game today, but hopefully we'll have a good one game today, and hopefully people don't continue to use AIs against me because obviously I can't beat the AIs, and it's not really possible for me to actually win against the AIs.
You have won.
What? Wait, why? Okay, that doesn't really make any sense. We're gonna create this game again because they just like surrendered essentially, which really doesn't make any real sense. All right, looking for another game, 5 to 12Q. Definitely looking for another game, 5 to 12Q. That really didn't make any sense that they kind of surrendered as soon as the game actually started playing. Let me actually just turn this up. Because I do need another game. Oh. I actually do have that. Okay, never mind. I did do that right. All right, guys. I need another game here. And I have this challenge up. So anyone can actually accept this challenge, 5 to 12Q. Let me know if you are interested in playing. I kind of need someone to, I need someone to accept my challenge for this to work. Definitely need someone to accept my challenge for this to work.
Game started.
All right. Got a game. Got a game. Hopefully you guys can see my cursor. I don't really know why my cursor doesn't show up. That's kind of weird that my cursor doesn't show up. Yeah, I don't really know where I don't want to hide cursor over projectors. Okay, I don't know why the mouse cursor doesn't show up. That's just weird. All right, let me try to get this thing again. Okay, the capture cursor doesn't really work. Okay, now it does work. I guess I just have to ting that again. Okay, all right, we got the game. I think you guys can see the cursor now. It's just a little bit weird. Also, if you're playing against me, like, I would just suggest you not use the AI against me because you don't really learn anything when you use the AI. Because I like can't actually beat the AI, and I've noticed that like a couple of people, more people recently have actually started using the AI against me, which honestly doesn't make all that much sense. I personally think you should always play Q4 here. I think letting me get that move is pretty crucial. That's also the wrong one to connect because I can't really do anything there. I'm going to go ahead and push, and that puts him in a very bad position. This puts black in a very disadvantageous position, and it gives me Sente. That really doesn't make any sense. I don't really know how to answer that, but I'm thinking I'm just going to do this. It might be better if I just played C4, honestly, but I'm not exactly sure. That's not an answer I expect all that often. I'm going to go ahead and take the 2 as well. He has a very bad shape here. I don't really know what that does. I'm going to extend up, and I'm going to ignore that and play here. See, I'm making kind of like progress. I'm definitely kind of making progress over here. Okay. Just very strange moves, so I'm not really sure what to make of these. I'm not really sure what to make of these moves. I guess I'm going to do this. This is generally a bad move. Um, Basically letting me column 2 like that. Okay, I'm gonna just do that. I'm okay getting the territory down here. Obviously that's Sente for me, so I am going to go up this way. I might have been better just doing that. That doesn't make any sense. That gives me the free tiger's mouth and gives me a free extension right here. So I'm actually going to just do this, get this territory here. As you can see, black doesn't have much territory at all. Those invasions, I mean, they're okay. That particular move doesn't make much sense at all. Uh, I mean, he can live down there. It's just he can definitely live down there, but it's not really it's not that beneficial for him. I actually don't know if he can live down here. I think he just died. Um, I think he could have lived down there. But you really don't want to resort to these kind of invasions. I probably answered the invasion wrong, but realistically, you do not want to resort to these kind of invasions. Also here, this is a fun killing technique that you guys may or may not know. Yeah, you don't really need to, you can just force that way. He can't really do anything. I'm not going to push through here, just going to come through here and then push through here. And then just take this. What he did, I'm going to try to make this territory now. The thing is, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're having to do like random invasions because you're lacking territory. Like that invasion just isn't very good. I didn't need to do that. That particular move didn't need to be answered. See, this is like you would definitely, since you already did this, you would definitely play over here. I can just do this and extend my territory because that's a fake eye. The thing is, you don't want to play a bunch of Gote moves over here to do that. I mean, I can just take this. There's not much potential over here, so I'm more than willing to, I'm definitely much more than willing just to get this territory in here. Also, I'm not really going to play that. I'm just going to, yeah, that doesn't make any sense because you're just basically dead in here anyways. And if I do this, you really can't do much. I've already got this in Atari, so whatever you do here is kind of irrelevant. There's no way you can make two eyes, and that's really what I'm concerned with. And even if he makes two eyes in here somehow, which he can't, even if he does make two eyes in here, which he really can't, I mean, he's already lost enough here and here where it doesn't actually matter. That was actually probably a bad move. I should have just, I should have defended this out here, yeah. But it may or may not matter. He doesn't have enough liberties, because if I just do this, I would have more liberties anyways. So before you do stuff like this, you do actually need to calculate this stuff out. Because if you don't, you're just kind of like feeding points to your opponent. See, now you're just feeding points because I can just force this way. I have 2 liberties here. If he keeps going, this is going to die. So like these are simple calculations. Like, and I've given people adequate amounts of time with like 10 minutes and 30 Bioyomi to actually calculate these simple things out. So like you do have to like watch for these things. A lot of times I can play on reflex because I can just see this directly. But if you can't read these out, if you can't really read these out yet, like take some time to actually read these things out. Because it is important that you take the time to read these things out. See, that's not very big. This is much bigger. And he might actually die here if he doesn't know how to make this group alive. If he actually answers that, yeah, I mean, I think he's probably dead here anyways. But you do have to watch out for certain things. Like I'm gonna just go back. He doesn't have any eyes here, so you just like cancel out this eye, more or less. He can't really do anything here. This doesn't really matter. He doesn't have any eyes. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this so I don't make any mistakes. I don't want to play the Ko. I mean, essentially you would do this, but I don't really want to play the Ko right now. And no, that group's not dead because there's an eye here, so I'm just going to go here. Then I'm going to connect here and get the territory down there. This corner Hane is pretty big because you can't block the corner Hane. It is alive, but barely. That wasn't necessary. There's nothing there. There's really not many points left here. I'm just going to extend on this. I don't need to answer this. He doesn't have that many liberties. The thing is, like, if you want to improve from DDK, you need to actually take more time to think on these moves.
You have won.
You definitely need to take more time to think on these moves. You want to improve from DDK. Like, the thing is, I'm playing reflexively. I'm playing reflexively in this game because I know a lot of these sequences. If you don't know these sequences that well, you do actually need to think about them. Like when I play against like higher ranked players, I will calm down and think every once in a while. I don't always play reflexively. Once again, I do believe that this is by far the best move. White's not going to do this because then black's just going to do this. So if you do this, white's best move is 2. That move is better than this move or this move. And actually, like this is actually an okay move. White, I mean, I should have done this first of all, rather than come here, because the Q4 move is very, very important. So I made a mistake here, But this is a major mistake as well, giving me this. And obviously, like, if white does this, black either has to connect this way or do this. You can't come here and just give me the straight push through. If you give me the straight push through, it completely ruins your shape. It separates out this stone, and you don't really have anything to make up for it. And obviously this basically molds my outer influence without giving black all that much. And black has to do this now because if he doesn't, he's dead. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Sente. I already got a huge advantage getting this influence and basically confining him to this small space down here. This is going, you should definitely play this way. I think this is kind of like the Joseki there. Doing this is not good. I'm not exactly sure how to answer this. I probably, like, it's either this or this. I don't think it makes that much of a difference, but I went ahead and did this, which is fine. That I'm going to extend over this way. I probably could have taken Sente and done something like this. That might have been the optimal move, but I'm going to settle my group down here a little bit and extend this way. That doesn't make any sense. I'm going to extend up. I could have probably just ignored this as well, because this doesn't really do anything, but I extended up. That's unnecessary. This group isn't weak anymore, so you should just definitely do something like this. Extend downward. Yes, you can jump here, and that does get rid of a little bit of my territory, but there's really only maybe like 6-7 points down here, so at the beginning of the game, it's definitely a losing move to extend down this way. So I'm going to go ahead and more solidify this over here and basically approach this corner. This is definitely the best move here. It does leave me open to do this, and I think the answer here might just be something like this, honestly. Because if you do this right now, it does free me up to kind of like approach over here, and that's not a good feeling for black. Doing this, you do leave room for a cut here. Obviously, I'm not going to play that cut right now, but you know, you just let me get some territory, and you still let me have like a Q18 move later. So it's not really a great move. That I'm not exactly sure how to answer. Maybe I should have just done this, because this is a bad, yeah, I probably should, like, when you do this, I definitely should have probably just done 0-15. I'm pretty sure I made a mistake there. I'm going to go this way. This honestly might have been better this way, but I don't want him to put pressure on these 3 stones, so which is why I just settled myself here and forced this way. Here you would probably play E17. Playing D17 is something I don't like. You give me the straight block, and basically it gives me a little bit of corner territory over here, and you don't really get that much. This generally letting me get the Hane is not a good idea. And the thing is, if you look at it, like your territory here is very, very confined to these couple of points where you're giving me a lot of territory down here. And I think like the more you go over this way, the better it is for me, because I doubt you're really going to threaten this group. This already has plenty of eye space down here, and you're just giving me territory down here. That doesn't really need to be played. If you're going to invade, you would invade right now. Playing this, that's fine. I'm going to come up here. I don't really see that as necessary. I mean, still, if you're going to invade, you got to invade now. And I shouldn't have played that. I probably should just went ahead and played here. But, you know, if you do this, like, it's a free tiger's mouth. That's generally a bad move. It gives me a really good shape to push on. I'm going to do this. The correct move here is to connect here, probably. Because if you do this, you can't block when I Hane. I mean, you can play the Ko, but you don't really want to play the Ko. So yeah, the correct move here is not this. It's probably this. So my Hane isn't Sente. And then I'm going to go ahead and basically unify this down here. That's not a good move. This is kind of like a desperate invasion at this point, because you're going to lose at least one side in this invasion. You can destroy a couple of points, but it's really not worth it. Here, I would guess, see, like, I probably should have Hane'd on this side, honestly. But I Hane'd on this side. That's a very bad move. Like, you should probably just retreat here. I wouldn't be able to do this because these 3 stones are kind of weak. But that's a very bad move. Like, you should probably just go on this side. If I cover over here, you can always kind of like, you can always kind of do something like this, you know, like you would be alive down here. You would actually be alive down here, and you would destroy a lot of my territory down here. So I would probably, you do give me a lot of influence up here, but then you just have to see what I can do with the influence. So it's actually completely livable. Sometimes I would opt for this, but this wouldn't be good right now because these stones are actually pretty weak.
Challenge received.
So I don't think I'm gonna play another game today, but generally, like, this is not a good way to do things. I probably should have just connected, because if you do this, I can always just do this. I definitely should have just connected, because if I connect, you really can't do anything. I wasn't really thinking about that. You can do this, but I mean, you're not in really that great of a shape right now. Jump out, I'm just going to do this. I mean, I'm okay with letting you invade down here as long as I get this territory here and I'm safe over here for the most part. So, I don't know. This invasion is just not a good invasion. I probably didn't answer it right, but he didn't play the invasion right either. Here you would just come out because I'm not really gonna allow you to do this. This is very bad for these 3 stones over here. So you would just come out, letting me essentially, like, doing this gives me this free move here, and you actually have to answer this move. Otherwise, like, there could be a lot of trouble for you right here, because if you don't, like, I can actually play E3 later, so that's very bad. That's not a good answer. I feel like for this, I don't know, like, once I play this, like, you're in a really bad position. I mean, the thing is, you can just take this here and take this entire corner, That's an option for black, just taking the corner territory. And that's a lot of territory right there. So that's definitely an option, just playing this. Like, once you have, like, this move, you can just take the corner. I think that's probably the best option for you. Like, each move you do is just strengthening me. And this, I'm pretty sure you could live. You can just do this. At least, at least you could fight the Ko to stay alive, I guess. Well, I guess not, but there's definitely a way to live here. When I do this, you can't connect, because if you connect, you die. You can do this. I would have to do this, and yeah, you would actually live here. You would actually be alive here, but you've given up, like, this much territory and a lot of influence on the outside, so the invasion wasn't going to be successful. But essentially, like, you need to actually do the sequencing correct. You can't just connect. You have to do this first, because if I destroy this eye, you're not going to win. If I destroy this eye, so you need to actually connect that first to actually live. Then coming here, you still need to do this first, because if you do this, then you're gonna live. So I actually did this the wrong way. I think I should have done this first. And then I don't really see a way to live for you to live. So I killed this wrong as well. So the sequencing is bad. The key is to actually make this move first. Whoever makes this move first wins this fight, more or less. Because that move solidifies this eye. If I destroy this eye, you can just come out. So the way to live was actually F8. Of course, this is just dead now. And this is like one of those Tesujis that you should just learn. If the liberties are really tight, you can just keep forcing. The liberties are really tight, you can just keep forcing. And he can't actually do anything. He doesn't have enough liberties. So anything after this is just extra. Once this is dead, like, the game's pretty much over. The rest of this is basically, this is just like him not calculating things right. This move is very important. It basically more solidifies my territory and inherent influence over here. I think sometimes you do need to consider moves like this. I don't know if he considered it or not, but moves like this sometimes are very, very hard for white to actually answer. I don't know if it's really good right now because this corner is pretty weak, and I can just sack this side and kill the corner. So I'm not really sure if it's viable right now, but like in certain times, like, you definitely need to consider moves like this. This obviously takes away this move, so it's definitely no good. That invasion doesn't make any sense at all. Realistically, I should have just done this. I mean, there's no way you can actually do anything here. You can't. There's no eye space down here for him to live. I should have just done Q10 in hindsight, but this is fine as well. I shouldn't have answered that at all. I didn't need to. I didn't need to answer that either. So I did. So I didn't really answer this because I have these three. So basically, I did this right, and essentially, like I don't want him coming up and doing like and having anything Aji in here. So basically, I just solidified the side. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm just gonna do this. This is not worth any points right now. So obviously, doing this loses him a lot of points. Letting me get this Atari. Like hoping that your opponent doesn't really see this Atari is not a great way to play this game. That's not going to win you games. Then like I get another thing, I basically can jump up here and now I have this territory. So essentially like, misreads on a lot of this. This like these corner Ajis, these corner Josekis are something that people need to practice and learn all the way up to like 5-6 Dan at least, because there's a lot of transformations and often when I play even games, I take a loss on the corner when I start. So when I play against the AI, I pretty much always take a loss on the corner. So there's a lot of different types of like corner variations that you actually do need to learn. So, and of course, like the fighting things, like you need to really like start trying to read a little bit more before you actually start playing. You do need to concentrate on reading a little bit more beforehand, because even if you're 10-12k in rank, you do have the ability to read at least a couple of steps ahead. And if you just read a couple of steps ahead, like it will actually improve your playing like vastly. Once you get up in rank, like some things will be automatic, but like especially in some of these fighting things, you do actually need to slow down and consider how you're playing. So that's going to be the stream for today. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell notifications button. I'll be back later, and I will see you guys.